Welcome to Ask GMBN, your chance to get some tips and hints from a pro rider like myself. I've been riding for 20 years, so I should know a little bit about mountain biking, so I hope I can help. Let's dive into your questions that we found on the comments and our social media platforms. And the first one is from Blocky Poika, and he's saying, I'm currently riding motocross. What are the benefits of mountain biking? Well, Blocky Poika, there are lots actually. General fitness. Motocross is very, very tiring, as you'll know. And that can be great for keeping your fitness up for mountain biking. Confidence, riding those berms, whoops and jumps, hitting them really fast on a motocross bike is going to give you a great opportunity to improve confidence when you're riding your mountain bike down a trail. And dealing with things like arm pump. On a motocross bike you get incredible arm pump, which is something that also happens on big downhill runs on your mountain bike. So keep up the motocross because it's great cross training. Next question is from Kai Wilson. Rode his first enduro the other day, had absolutely tons of rain. So as you can imagine, deadly slippery routes and rock gardens. By the end of the day, the ruts were deeper than the cranks. Ouch. Any tips on riding these hard conditions and deep soft mud? Well, line choice. When it comes to really slippery riding, your line choice is crucial. Getting too low on a really rooty section or rocky section means you're going to end up on the outside of corners in all of the horrible berms that have got all rotted. So picking your line choice, trying to stay high sometimes can really help, avoiding sometimes most of the routes. If you do get on those routes and slippery rocks, stay nice and loose and confident and try and just skip over them rather than trying to hop over each individual one. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Another good tip for riding in really harsh conditions, if you're in a contest, is staying really positive, because once you see the shoulders drop of your competitors, you've got an advantage or a possible advantage, so take it. Those were my tips, Kai. Hope they're helpful. Sean O'Leary's got a question. How bad is it to bottom out your fork? Well, actually, bottoming out now and again is not that bad a thing. It does happen if you reach the limits of your suspension. If it's happening a lot, you probably need to check the pressure of your shock or your front fork. Really great video to check out is our Ask the Pro suspension setup tips video. So let's take a look at that.
I think for me, balance is probably the most important thing between the front and the rear, and that just starts with air pressure. If you kind of have the right air pressure front and rear, and you kind of have the balance right, then the rest of the clickers are just small adjustments from there. But for me, it's definitely the base setting of just kind of air pressure. Okay,
Austin Bocom, what does off camber mean? Well, off camber on a turn means like, well, it's when the ground's...
I'm here now, Martin. Off camber, it's kind of like, you know when you've got a berm that helps you out, gives you a bank to go off? Well, off camber's the opposite of that. You're going across the slope and you almost want to slide down it.
The lay of the land's negative to your situation.
Correct.
I got there in the end. Come on then,
Martin, what's the next question?
Next one, Jake. It's only Jake Franklin. Hi guys, what are your tips for keeping your bike from being stolen? For me personally, out of a shed.
I guess sheds aren't as secure as garages.
No, I've actually got a shed and I've just got a big badass padlock on it. That's all I've done.
Ground anchor, I would say. Sort of concrete, a ground anchor, like a big loop into the floor. Put your chain through that. And also an alarm, I think, helps, so at least you'll know if someone's getting in there.
Yeah, alarm is a good idea. That's a good one. Okay. Peter Lukov, he says, how do I endo 180? 180. Well, best thing to think about 180 endos is when you're going into them, really turn into them, because what that does is it creates a really great stopping point. You turn in the bars, which is going to help with the way you want to swing the back end round. And obviously, once you've locked it up, your body's being thrown forwards, which is going to pull the bike round in that arcing motion. So you end up getting a 180. And then if you're really, really good, stick a little bit of a roll back in and do another 180 and ride away.
Nice.
Genius.
I can't add to that. You've got Martyn Ashton for things like that.
Well, yeah.
Perfect.
Like those ones. Right, next question is from Bikes and Boards for Life. Why are dirt jump frames not made of carbon fibre? Well,
I never actually thought about that before. I guess because they just get mistreated, don't they? They get thrown about.
They do. I mean, for instance, if you're doing a tail whip on a big double, you know, you're going to kick the frame. And I mean, you'd have to cover the frame up with so many bits of protection that it's just never going to survive.
So carbon fibre is really strong for normal riding, but I think for impacts, if it slams into the ground, it's not as strong as a steel or an aluminium frame for that.
Yeah, it's just not going to last. It's not going to last. Bet they could do quite a few tail whips with it.
Really light, super light. No brakes.
Yeah. Right. Frank Clauber, this one's for you, Neil. So Neil, I think you use clipless pedals, Crank Brothers mallets.
Most of the time.
Is it difficult to ride them unclipped and switch to clip, or vice versa while riding? I like the idea of large platform pedals in some situations, like when I start on a steep incline and can't clip in right away.
Yes, that's probably more the situation where I would ride unclipped. So I use the mallet E's, which are kind of small, or the mallet DH, which are the really big ones.
Yeah.
They're not really designed for riding unclipped on, but it's just that extra sort of safety mechanism for trying to find your pedal when you're in technical situations. So I wouldn't recommend actually riding unclipped in like a sketchy situation, but if you have to, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, really great video to check out. It's clips versus flats, which can be really useful when you're thinking about this. So take a look.
I've come from the background using flat pedals for 15 years. As a seasoned downhill World Cup racer, I've predominantly spent most of my time racing on clip. Although there has been the odd occasion, for example Champery, where I've had to go to the cool gang and use flats.
Okay, next question from Matt007. Anyone know why my back wheel is making a rubbing sound? Scott full suspension, carbon frame. Well, Matt, there's a million reasons this could be happening.
Yeah, I would check that your tyre's on right. I don't know, is your wheel buckled? Could be rubbing against the frame. Who knows? Yeah, like
we need more info, really.
Yes.
We need more info.
You could send the video to ask@gmbn.com and we'll have a look.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you should check out this video on how to check your bike after a crash.
Whoa! After a crash, it's instinct to check that your body's okay, but you should definitely check your bike over, just so you know that it's safe to continue on your ride. When your bike goes down like this, your grips are going to dig in the ground. So damaging the end of your grips is really commonplace. Tearing the ends of them, or even if you have bar end plugs, sometimes they can become loose, or you'll even lose them and find them on the floor. So check you've got those in, your grips are not damaged in any way that's going to prevent you carrying on riding.
Now for the quickfire round. I'll kick it off. RC Legends asks, could you do a cheap bike challenge?
That's a great idea.
It is.
Yeah, that really is. Yeah, it's a little bit like Top Gear, isn't it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I actually bought myself a retro bike for 80 quid the other day, so maybe I'll use that.
Yeah, I need to do that because my last bike cost about £10,000, so I need to go cheap. Okay, Callan Stevenson, can you do a GMBN Learns to Unicycle series? Yes, we can.
No, we
I'm
can't.
afraid I'm injured, so I won't be able to do that one, but I used to be able to ride a unicycle very well.
Wow.
So yes, we will do a video where Neil learns to ride a unicycle, because what did we name it the other day?
Muni cycling.
Moony cycling or
Sounds terrible.
unicycle. Yes.
Anyway, moving on. Manny Elanus, do I need my seat low when I'm manualing? Yes. Helps, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Put that seat down, slam it. Chuck Norris, should I grease my brake pads so they don't squeal?
No.
No.
Don't do that.
No,
They
don't
won't
do
work.
that. They won't squeal, but they will not work.
HB, between GMBN and GCN, I have to ask, what hair products do you guys share? Meticulous. Just not sure I can answer that for everyone, but
I use Dear Barber
not heard of that one.
and quite a lot of dye when I can get round to doing it. There we are.
Awesome.
Okay, Amandan5185 asks, I think GMBN should try dirt jumps out and maybe even a slope style course. Well,
Yes.
funny you should say that. Watch this space.
I've got a dirt jump bike now, little Canyon Stitch
Yeah.
360, so definitely
and
riding
this,
some dirt
this
jumps.
boy can ride dirt jumps. More style than it's fair to have.
Many moons
Tell you.
ago I could. See if I still
Tell
can.
you that.
FC Smith, my dropper post sags a little bit when I sit in it. How can I fix it? Sounds like it needs a service. So
Yeah, doesn't sound good.
get in touch with your local bike shop and hopefully they'll be able to fix that for you. Now it's time for the correct me if I'm wrong section, where you guys send in your videos to ask@gmbn.com and we try and give some tips on how to improve.
Excited about this bit.
Right, James WalkerRyan has sent this video in and he's asking, how can I improve my whips?
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good actually. I would say try and turn into it more as you take off. So that might mean you actually need to sort of aim off the jump as you ride up it and then turn back into the jump.
Yeah, I would say start moving on to a slightly bigger jump. It's going to give you a lot more time, a lot more height. One thing of the whip is once you've started it, at some point you've got to bring it back. So a lot of it's getting that confidence to really go for it. Like Neil said, turn it in. On a bigger jump, you'll definitely have a much bigger whip.
So the next one, Arvid sent us this video of him hitting this big drop off and asked, how can he do it better? Well, that is a whopper. That looks really good to me. I'm not sure you can do it any better.
Well, you could do it better because you could have sent a backflip there, or a fronty. Could have gone into a fronty off it. 360 would have looked nice. No, 360 truck driver would look amazing. You had enough height for a 720, to be fair. That would have been pretty cool. So that would have definitely been better. I think there's a little list there you could use.
Well, take that advice.
Go for it. Okay, our next, correct me if I'm wrong, is from Tim Bonnerand, who's, check it out, Neil, taking a little go at bunny hopping. Looks pretty good.
It's okay, you definitely doing the rear wheel bit well, but you see, look your hips, they're not coming behind the saddle, so you're not getting any manual, so that's why the front wheel isn't coming up in the air. So at the moment you're just going down, then up, so you need to come down, back, and then up and forward. So really work on that manual, almost forget the hop for a little bit, get your hips further to the back of the bike. Easy.
Just like he said.
Keep practicing. Keep sending your videos to ask@gmbn.com for us to have a look at. If you want to go bigger with Brendan Fairclough, you can find out 4 ways just by clicking here.
And if you want to get your bike park ready, then click just here.
Click on this thing here, this globe, to subscribe to GMBN. It's totally free.
Yeah, and give us a thumbs up like. I'd appreciate that.